Here we go. Hi everyone, and welcome to TWF Dynamite or Might. I, Mike Lane, Tony Schiavone, and Montel Vertadius Porter here. And today on Dynamite or Might, we are going to see the match that we would have saw last week, but we're going to see it this week. We're going to have Steven Seagal's self, Nico Sinatini from Above the Law, or Miko Above the Law. We'll see him here today on Dynamite. No, on Dynamite or Might. I believe that's what we're going to see. Well, I can tell you one thing. Whatever we're going to see here today on Dynamite or Might, Mike Lane, it's going to be a good show. We should know that. We should know that. Shit. Sorry about that. Well, we know we're going to have a good show, here today on Dynamite or Might, Tony Schiavone says. We don't know who we're going to see or what we're going to see here today on Dynamite or Might, but here it goes. I can tell you one thing right now, Mike and Tony. We got John Cena in the house, and I know he doesn't really fit, but here he is. Alright, John Cena says. We all know that I'm here full time in the toy wrestling gathering. And there was a time, John Cena says, many years ago, I guess 22 years ago, when I first came from UPW and to OVW and then to WWE, that I was one of the most hated skilled wrestlers. A lot of folks hated me over those 22 years because they either hated me because one, I was winning a lot more than I was losing. Two, I somehow became at least a 12 or 13-time WWE heavyweight fighter, a 3-time world heavyweight fighter, 5-time WWE 4-1 Reichs fighter. Don't forget about the 1-time WWE tag team fighter with Shawn Michaels, 2-time WWE Raw tag team fighter with David Otunga and The Miz. I was a Galled in the Boundary winner. And everyone hated me. No one was going to give me on look. And there were two sides of the wrestling followership. Those who loved me and those who hated me. And on the interweb, there were two folks that used to scathe me. One was Bruce Blitz, and the other one was Wrestling Jesus. But now, after those 22 years, I have gotten on look. Why? Because I said I never gave up. Two, because I put in the time. I had to work through everything that was given to me. And those words I say, fast, quick, on look, quick, trust, and on look. And those aren't just something somebody came up with one day and put on a shirt and then sold it. That is what I truly believe in. Same thing with never give up. And a lot of folks, so I'm happy that I've gotten the onlook from the skilled wrestling followership that many other wrestlers over the years got, either Steve Austin, The Rock, Randy Savage, Ultimate Warrior, Hulk Hogan, Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, Ric Flair, Sting, The Undertaker, you name it, they all gotten onlook, and I'm happy to say that I now gotten that same onlook that those skilled wrestlers got. So, anyway, I just want to say thank you to everyone out there who have backed me up those 22 years ago, both in WWE and also in the TWF. Oh, great, Stan. All right, Mike Lane says, it's the Jackal, or Osiris. John Cena. Hold on. We got it. Oh, he fucked up. Well, we have to take the ring down just to get Adam Page out. You know. To get Adam Page out. Fuck. Yeah, well, it looks kind of like almost dark. Almost. You know, to get Adam Page out. No, it's not. You know, to get Adam Page. Now get them back in the ring now. Alright. So. Alright. Here it is. John Cena. You are a creep. You know, coming out here, asking for everyone to give you on look, and then thanking them when they give you the on look. I mean, come on, John Cena. How sad is that? To get any on look from anyone. I mean, John Cena, you haven't shifted in 22 years. In 22 years, you still come out with the same song you've had since 2005 YL. You still have all the same clothes. Yeah, they might shift the cast, but the shirts all say the same thing. Never give up. Quick. Trust. And on look. You still do they call it the stand shift, formerly the FU. But John Cena, don't kid yourself into thinking that you're going to be on-looked by everyone. Yeah, John Cena, everyone hasn't forgotten about all those 22 years ago in WWE when you either buried or beaten all of those upcoming wrestlers, how you were throned being the main fighter for so many years. And I'll stop you right there, Adam Page. And right there, Jackal. First off, I had no running lead over the bookings. I had no running lead over how many times I won, how many times I lost, who I beat, who I didn't beat, who I teamed up with, who I didn't, and how I behaved like for those 22 years. You see, I was always open-minded to become heel for a 2th time, but no one in WWE wanted to even go there. Because they were frightened if they did make me go heel for the 2th time, it would besmirch everything that they had going with me. And you want to know why I was on top for a long time? Because everyone knew I wasn't going anywhere for all those years. I was on top longer than Hulk Hogan was. Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, The Rock, Steve Austin, David Batista. I was probably there on top longer than Bruno Sammartino and Pedro Morales and Bob Backlund. I was on top way longer than all those other folks because they could trust me knowing that I wasn't going to either leave and go to another skilled wrestling business or I was going to say fuck them and walk off. Now, Adam Page, I once did have some on-look for you back in the day when you beat Kenny Omega and became the AEW heavyweight fighter. I thought, that's great for you. Someone who never made it to the top, made it to the top. But now I'm starting to think, need be, Kenny Omega should have beaten you. And you, Jackal, shouldn't talk when it comes to shifting on folks, because how many wrestlers did you fire? Let's see, you had the Truth Team. You had Recon and Sniper. Until they fired you for fucking with them. Then you had Kurgan. Golga, Giant Silva, and Luna Vachon until they threw you away, until they fired you and took on Sable instead. Then you worked for The Undertaker and got Farouk Hassan and John Hawk Bradshaw. That lasted, 3 months? And then what happened? You had Rhino and Steve Corino and Joe Kojiri. What happened there? And Jerry Lynn. They fired you. And then you shifted on Kenny Omega, on Adam, and now you're with Adam Page and Adam Cole. Wow, John Cena says. You can't be trusted, Jackal. John Cena, don't start shit with me, the Jackal says. I have my grounds for what I did. And Adam Page is going to be greater than all those other wrestlers I was the overseer of. Yeah, John Cena, you better shut your mouth till I knock all your teeth out, Adam Page says. Oh, is that right, huh? Look out! Uh-oh. Mike Lane says John Cena just gave the FU to Adam Page. Mike Lane says. Or also known as the attitude, known as the minds, the shifts, the stand shifter. The stand shifting. The stand shifting, Tony Schiavone says, and one for the Jackal too. Tony Schiavone says, here he comes. Mike Lane says, you can't see me. Oh, the 5-knuckle shuffle to both Adam Page and the Jackal, or Osiris, Mike Lane said, whatever he's calling himself these days. Well, it goes by his true name, Don Coven, since WWE owns the right to both the Jackal and Osiris ring names, Tony Schiavone says, and John Cena has gotten even, on both Adam Page and the Jackal here today on Dynamite, or Mike Lane says. Yeah, it was cool, Tony Schiavone said, watching both Osiris and Adam Page get the FU, or known as the stand shifted. Hey, Mike and Tony, how the hell can you say that John Cena is some kind of good doer when he like a weakling beat up on Adam Page and the Jackal? Montel Vertadius Porter says. That's not something to be onlooked. That's something to be guilted for, shamed for, scathed for, Montel Vertadius Porter says. And I understand. Montel Vertadius Porter says, I understand. They're back in the ring now. John Cena, you think that you can do the FU or the stand shift on me, Adam Page says, and get away with it? Think again, you son of a bitch. I'm a former AEW heavyweight fighter. I'm a former TWF 24/7 fighter. And I'm a former TWF, Pittsburgh Stead fighter. And Jackal says, how dare you do that to me too? Give me the FU, or the stand shift. We want a match with you here today on Dynamite, or Might. And we're not leaving the ring until we get that match. You understand? Well, I don't know if they're going to like it or not, Montel Vertadius Porter says. Here comes Sergeant Slaughter now. Let me get this straight. You're not going to leave the ring until you get a match with John Cena. Well, all right, Adam Page and Jackal. I already talked with Astronema, and I already talked with Hunter Hearst Helmsley. And you're having a match here today, a handicap match with John Cena. And it happens right now. Well, now we got the Fight Lord in the ring now, Mike Lane says. And Adam Page, who isn't ready to wrestle, he's always dressing up like a cowboy. Yeah, the FU on Adam Page, Mike Lane says. Some call the wannabe cowboy, Mike Lane says. Here comes the FU on the Cyrus or the Jackal, Tony Schiavone says. John Cena's going to beat both of them. You can't see me. Five knuckle shuffle on both Jackal and Adam Page, Tony Schiavone says. He's going to get the 1, 2, 3, Mike Lane says. Oh no, he's just besmirched 2 more wrestlers. He's buried 2 more wrestlers. Montel Ratadius Porter says, this is the most shameful thing I've ever seen in my whole life. 1, 2, 3. Ding ding ding. Here is your winner, John Cena. Well, John Cena and John Cena has beat Adam Page and the Jackal or Osiris here today on Dynamite or Might, Mike Lane says. Yes, he did, Tony Schiavone said. He gave both of them the FU, or also known as the stand shift. And I think they'll learn to show some on-look to the greatest of all time, John Cena, Tony Schiavone says. I think so too, Mike Lane says. But I think folks like Adam Page and Jackal never learn how to on-look anyone, Mike Lane says. On-look, Montel Ratadius Porter says. Why would you say we should on-look John Cena after what he did to Adam Page and the Jackal? Mike and Tony, that's truly sad. Well, speaking of that, we got Gorilla Mont. Speaking of that now, speaking of that, we take it away to Michael Cole now. Thank you, Mike Lane. Thank you, Mike Lane and Tony Schiavone. I'm going to be talking. Thank you, Mike Lane. And Tony Schiavone. I'm going to be talking with John Cena here today on Dynamite or Might. Alright, John Cena. I have known you for sundryest years. I've known you since 2002 YL and WWE, and since 2008 YL, or since 2005 YL in the Toy Wrestling Gathering. Well, Michael Cole, I came out here to show on look. I came out here to do what I do good. Never give up. Quick, trust, and on look. Next thing I know, I get Adam Page and a Jackal or Osiris, whatever you want to call him, coming out here, shaming me, guilting me, sliding me, scathing me for the past, for things I had no run or lead over. Well, John Cena, we saw you beat Adam Page and the Jackal or Osiris in a handicap match. Are you frightened of some folks scathing you for that match? Michael, I have been scathed, guilted, shamed, and slighted for my whole life. And half of that was those 22 years in WWE, when everyone thought no one liked me. So I knew how to deal with it. See, Adam Page and the Jackal, they want to talk about on-look. They want to talk about trust. They want to talk about that. But Adam Page and the Jackal, they know nothing about trust, nothing about on-look. They know nothing about never giving up. So, if Adam Page or the Jackal or Osiris or whatever you want to call him wants to start something, come get some. Well, John Cena, it's good seeing you, my friend. And I wonder how you going to have other matches here? Well, if other matches or fights show themselves, I'll be ready for it. Alright, that's my talk with John Cena. Back to you, Mike Lane and Tony Schiavone. Thank you, Michael Cole, for talking with John Cena here today on Dynamite or Might. And is all the time we got here for Dynamite or Might. Mike Lane, Tony Schiavone, Montel Ratadius Porter, we hope you like Dynamite or Might, and we'll see you tomorrow for Impact on XSTV or Smash on Inside FS.